Hello class, and welcome to this Battle of Olympus walkthrough right here on Video Games 101 by way of Let's Play with Brigands. I'm your instructor, Professor Brigands, and this qualifies as one of the more unappreciated NES gems if you ask me. I'm sure a fair number of people know about it, but not enough people know about it. In terms of difficulty, I'm going to go ahead and give this game a 6 out of 10. Which on the frustration scale equates to biting down and then throwing your controller across the room. Probably if you had a bunch of olives, then you lost them all in a pit or something. No pun intended, by the way, I just heard that, but we'll talk about that. This is a long game, so we're just going to get into it, run the intro, and let's go. As we get into the game here, we have a chance to name our hero and our heroine. I was going through a big James Bond phase in the 90s when I was a kid, and I remember naming my character this in the mid-90s, 007, and if you're going to name your character 007, gotta go money pay for the heroine name. Plus, there's not enough characters to fit in Professor. Let's take a look at the Briggs notes for Battle of Olympus. First, this is going to look a lot like the Briggs notes for Zelda, but make sure that you stay ahead of the curve. Have all the upgrades, the items, the Ambrosia, I guess in the case of this game, as early as possible. Number 2, save, quote-unquote, at all the gods. We'll talk about that. That'll save your place. And then finally, use my patented olive grinding spot that I love so very much. As we take a look now at the controls for Battle of Olympus, pretty straightforward. Attack with B, jump with A. We can use a couple items with select. Pause brings up the item menu. And we can duck with down, but nothing too crazy. Talk more about specific things as we get into it later on, but right now we're at our first, let's call it a mini-boss, so let's go to Gaea early on.
It's Scary Gary's Boss Beaters. Alright, the first boss in Battle of Olympus the Bull. Just keep stabbing, you'll take him down. Nothing tricky here, no secret to it.
Yep, just keep stabbing away. Good call, Gary. Now we're going to head into see the first of many gods in this game. Got to kneel and hit B to talk to them. That 007's already making me laugh. So most of the gods will either just flat out give you something, or they'll charge you for an item. In Zeus's case, his gift to us is just his connections, basically. He's saying, I'm popular with all the other gods. They all like me. I'll tell them that you're an okay guy, and they'll talk to you, because if you don't come talk to him first, none of the gods will have anything to do with you. So, anyway, now with an overview of the basic items we're picking up in this game, here's Blaze.
Alright, let's talk about the basic items you will pick up in Battle of Olympus. First, we have bay leaves. Pick these up, you'll get 1 health back to your total count. Then we have the olives. These are the currency for the greedy gods of Battle of Olympus. Man, they are so greedy, you'll find out. Then we have very specific, the salamander skins, which you can get in one specific area in this game. You need 20, 20 to turn in, along with some olives, the aforementioned olives, to get yourself a salamander skin shield. We'll talk about that. And then you have the ambrosias. When you pick one of these up, there's a finite number in the game. I want to say there's 5 of them. These add 4 health to your total health bar. And then we have hearts. There's 3 of these in the game. They work out for the story. You will see. But the basic pickup items in Battle of Olympus.
Thank you, Blaze. By the way, this is my olive grinding spot I was talking about in the Briggs notes. You can kneel right there at the fountain to top off your health whenever you need to. We'll talk more about it when we actually need to grind for some olives a little bit later, but right now we're talking to Athena. Still making me laugh. Giving us this shield here, and what do we know about the shield? Blaze?
Alright, Athena's shield protects you from arrows and some other projectiles, and best yet, you don't have to pay for it. Don't get used to it, this is not going to last very long. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Alright, thank you very much. Yeah, don't get used to it. There's some greedy gods in this game, unfortunately, charging you I think the cheapest item we need to buy, maybe not from a god, but someone, is 50 olives. Someone charges you 60, someone 70, and I think 80 is the max. So, that is the annoying bit about this game. It's, I could see a lot of people having a big problem with that, honestly, but, you know, if you can get around that, this is a fantastic game. But anyway, we're going to head down west and down right here from that area. And we're going to pop in this door right here and talk to this lady. She's going to tell us that her son has been killed. Oh, you're 007. Yeah, a vampire kidnapped her son. So we're going to fight the Lamia now, Gary?
Boss beater. The Lamia. Have your shield from Athena, and then top off your health at the fountain before you take on Lamia. But jump and move left, stabbing when you land, and then keep stabbing until you get knocked back. Just keep repeating this. You'll take down Lamia. Just make sure you got the full health. Good luck.
Yeah, that move was clutch in The Legend of Zelda, Adventure of Link, Zelda 2. Very clutch in this game as well against certain enemies. Thank you very much, Gary. So now we're going to head back to talk to her. Really would have been nice. I think she mentioned she'd give us the next weapon if we rescued her son. It'd be nice if there was just a little bit more trust here in Greece, ancient Greece, so that she could have given us this staff before we fought the Lamia, make it a little bit easier so we could rescue her son. But anyway, Blaze, tell us about the staff.
Alright, next we have the staff, which doubles the damage you were doing with that basic club you were whacking dudes with before. Once you learn how to do it, you can launch fireballs by holding up and pressing B. He'll break the fourth wall for you and explain it to you, but much more powerful weapon. Equip that thing now.
Good call. Thank you very much, boys. Yeah, I think we're about to head to Argolis right now, actually, to unlock that ability on said staff, Staff of Fennel. One of the Briggs notes we mentioned sort of in the opening was just to, stay ahead of the curve. That's what we're giving you in this game. We're giving you the most direct route, aside from when we checked in on that woman we didn't need to just now, but but generally this is the most direct route to doing everything in this game, the fastest routes to getting to the various areas and all that, so just something to keep in mind. This is not a bad place to replenish some of our little leaves or whatever these things were, so we get a little bit more health back. I love these little Ewoks with their little spears. I know they mean to kill us, but they're just so darn cute. And they run away, showing their true colors like, I didn't sign up for this, get the hell out of here. Alright, here we are in Argolis. They head into this first cave. Mind the bats on the ceiling. They have two different moves. They can come in really fast like that, or they can move in a little bit slower, in which case they take a wider arc. So they're very frustrating, especially when you don't know which one they're going to throw at you. Just got to be careful around the pits. Pits are what make this game the most difficult. Sometimes you just want to gun it. We can make that jump. It's just a bit bigger. Alright, so we got the lion now. Make sure you take out the bats, as many as you can at least before you fight him. But how do we beat the lion, Gary?
Boss beaters. Alright, the Lion of Nemea. This is very similar to the bullfight, just keep stabbing. It's very hard to lose this one. Just watch out for the bats, and you'll take them down.
Yeah, same strategy. And then we get to this guy, Prometheus, who's giving us fire. Makes sense. According to Greek tragedy, Prometheus was punished for giving or sharing fire with humanity. Zeus was not happy about that, so in this game he just kind of locked him in a hole in the wall, in a cave, but in the actual Greek legend, he was chained to a rock by Zeus, where he was sentenced for eternity to stay there and have his liver eaten every day by an eagle. And then the liver would regrow, so he would have to go through that pain every single day. So there you go. I feel like that's a fluff fact, but that's just something I remember from my Greek mythology classes back in the day. I don't know, it was high school, college, I don't know. Wasn't part of the doctorate for this. I know that at least. So anyway, just try to stay alive. And now we're going to head to the other cave, where we can go talk to Hermes. If he's in. He's not always in. In fact, he's never in. At least at first. We actually need to come here just so that he'll appear somewhere else where we can talk to him. Gotta be careful here. Getting a lot of olives and not a lot of health right now, so. Snakes. They have a tricky pattern as well. This is a really nasty section. 2 pits, 2 bats. Not a recipe for a good time. Came in here to get away from the bats. Sorry, lady. Probably her first visitor in years. Don't live in a cave if you want visitors. That's what I say. Alright, you can fall in this pit and it won't kill you. That's for something later on, but we do want to jump over it. And you can with a normal jump. Even though I'm struggling to get up here. Alright, here we go. So we talked to this guy, and Hermes is summoned by Zeus, which means we gotta head back to Zeus. And this guy sends us away. Awful rude. Just saying, get out of here. Let's go to someone who's nice to me and get a fluff fact about this game from our fact finder, Fluff.
The Battle of Olympus is a shockingly good game from a completely unknown developer at the time, Infinity. After being commissioned to make a couple random games, including a European tennis game for Amiga, Infinity president and programmer and co-designer of the game, Yukio Horimoto, dreamed of making an ambitious original title based in Greek mythology. To really put today's games in perspective, this sizable gem was made at the time by a team of just 3 people on a deadline of 6 months. While the game tells a love story, the game is also a literal labor of love, as during development, Horimoto met his wife Reiko Oshida, who came on to help develop the story and do the beautiful graphics. While the game didn't make much of a splash in their native Japan, the game performed much better after a Western translation was published by Broderbund, the version we're playing right now.
Thank you, Fluff. Yeah, I have good memories of playing this game as a kid. Rented it on a Friday once. That's when we did our video game rentals. Couldn't play video games during the week. House rule. So we got to rent one game every week, and my older brother and I thought the box art on this game looked cool. Gave it a shot. Probably in the early 90s, and we're not disappointed in the least. Excellent game. So we're going to head back, as I said, to Zeus's pad now. We're going to want to be picking up olives on and off here. This first purchase we're going to have to make for, I guess, probably 60 olives isn't going to be too bad, considering, we've been collecting them this entire game. It's later when they hit you back to back. You go from one area to the next, and already another god wants, 10 more olives than you gave to the last one for something. Probably because they all talk, and they told each other that you're a sucker. Who's just willing to collect olives for them. What a nice currency, though. It's refreshing. It's wholesome. I'll happily take that. I think it's interesting how some of these things connect. Like, you go through this seemingly one story, it's like a rancher type house or something here. And then you go through the door, and it's just this massive just feed of what's going on here? The background, we're in a completely different area. And you go through just it looks like someone's front door, and you're in a totally different town all of a sudden. But anyway, Hermes. Waiting long enough for this. What are you giving us, Blaze?
Alright, Hermes Sandals allow you to jump much higher, and you can hold jump to walk on some ceilings. A very cool power-up indeed.
Yeah, it was worth the trip, actually, if I do say so myself. You notice we take down the bowl a little bit faster now that we have the Staff of Fennel. Like the Prometheus broke the fourth wall, by the way. You can use the flames of this thing by holding up and tapping attack. But there's the shoes on display. It's fun. Grabbing the ceiling like that. And now here we are in the forest of Peloponnes. This is I probably butchered that, but this is a bit of a maze, so keep up with us here. There's a lot of things to grab here. We have an item. We have an Ambrosia. We're going to get a new weapon already. We can destroy those webs with the flames of our weapon. But I get a little turned around here too. But this is the next god we need to speak to. Got a harp. What is it, Blaze?
Alright, we have Apollo's harp, summons Pegasus at the sun statues, kind of a teleport, a fast travel of Battle of Olympus, but very useful for getting around in some situations.
And it's a lovely piece of music as well. As we cut through this guy's branch of the woods, no pun intended. And we want to smack this tree in a very specific spot. There we go. Get 4 more health from that Ambrosia. I just like to pop in here and grab this. We're going to head back there eventually, but I like having the extra health for the next boss that we're going to come across. Again, it's like the fast start for the Hylian guy that we had in the first Zelda game. Our class on that. Check that out, by the way. But you can burn that with our flames. That's the only way to get through that one, even with the shoes. Our school for gifted Hylians. These guys are a lot easier to take down once we have the flames. Better than waiting for them to make their little hops. Alright, so we have another boss here at the edge of this screen. Who we got this time, Gary?
Boss beaters. Alright, the Hydra. Put 2 character links between you and the bubbles and just keep stabbing when it pops out. Eventually you'll knock it back as far as it'll go. This is especially effective at the end of that platform, so if you can get to the end of the platform, keep that distance there, keep stabbing, it'll have nowhere to go, it'll just keep jumping out, getting smacked by you. Good luck.
Yeah, this end spot at the end of the pier, this is where you want to be. Just keep stabbing. Get him in a kind of a stun lock position at least. And just like that, there we go. Cheap but effective. Spirit of the forest. Sword, sweet. Lovely sword. What more do you want? Maybe to talk to somebody else who's nice to me, in Blaze.
Alright, the sword. Basic, doesn't fire anything out, but it's much more powerful than the... Well, not much more powerful. It's more powerful than the staff. Equip that sword. Some enemies can only be hurt with the sword, so get that thing on.
Thank you very much, Blaze. Yeah, I think we'll need it for the next boss, and bosses moving forward, so make sure you stop there first. Just follow the order. I don't need to keep saying it, just, we're showing you the best way to go here. This is one of those games, like so many games on the NES, when you played as a kid, or a lot of games when you play them for the first time, that seem so much bigger in scope and longer and harder and everything, and then, you just learn where to go and what to do in the fastest track over time, like we're showing you here, and, it becomes doable in a little over an hour. Used to spend entire weekends on this game. Writing down painstakingly writing down those words of the gods. Very frustrating. But anyway, hopefully this next boss won't be frustrating. Thanks to Gary.
Boss beaters. Okay, Cyclops, so first bait the boulder toss, then move forward underneath the boulder, and then jump and stab it in the eye with the sword. Retreat and repeat. 4 hits will get it done.
Thank you very much, Gary. And there he goes. Nice. Alright, so we'll continue on. Need to switch back to that. Try to split the difference with this bat here. Pop on through here, and here we are in Laconia. Probably the most Greek-looking of all of the places that we've come across so far. Watch out for these birds and the boulders they drop. They do big damage. It's either 3 or 4 meters to your health. Alright, so we're gonna need to pool some olives here. This actually isn't the worst place to earn olives, because right down here we can pull our staff of Fennel out and just keep firing the fireballs and take them out. And we can get all our health back this way. It's very dangerous above ground, like on the top level. If you didn't get that when we first entered this area, those birds, and there's just lots of, got those little crustacean things walking around, getting you off your timing if they hit you. There's a lot of things trying to slap you around, but down here it's pretty chill. Just these kind of kangaroo type monsters. Maybe it's like Pan, you know, the half goat, half human type thing. Don't see a whole lot of human going on there, but... And they come in the 2 speeds, 2 flavors, fast and slow. But over time, we're going for those 60 olives right now, because the god that... First god who's going to charge us for something lives around here. There's a twofer, that's good. This is where emulators are nice, if you just speed it up. Make this go a little bit faster, because it is just grinding. There's no skill involved right now. Let's pop in here. Once you have a decent amount of health, because we have another Cyclops to fight. You can light up the room by tossing a fireball. Just be careful, because there's a pit right there, so you might want to jump and then fire it to keep yourself from going back through that door again. But same tips we used on the last Cyclops. Run up, stab, retreat, go under that boulder. Alright, I think that's what Gary said. I'm just not... There we go. I'm not executing as well as he explained it. This will be worth it once we take him down, you'll see. Alright, there we go. We get another Ambrosia for our efforts. And if you go in here, you'll find another fountain, or a fountain. Waterfall. It'll top off your health. Doesn't do much for us right now, considering we just got the Ambrosia, but if we head back above to the dangerous area, careful stepping here, a lot of doors we're ignoring, you'll notice. There's just people in there who probably giving you vague hints about where to go and what to do, similar to Adventure of Link. But we'll head up here back to the top level, Laconia. Yeah, these monkeys are annoying too. Hate the monkeys. It's just, the rhythm of everything is just perfect. Perfectly designed to mess you up. But anyway, we have a very important item. You just need to know where to stab for it right here. Blaze?
Alright, the Flask. Very important item in Battle of Olympus. So important, I'm going to give it my item of the game designation. Fill this up and you can have on-demand top off your health whenever you need it. Just refill it at a fountain or a natural spring. You've seen them around the world, but yeah, make sure this is always filled whenever you're about to go into a difficult situation. It's a lifesaver.
Quite literally a lifesaver, yes. Thank you very much, Blaze. And we just need to grind for another 13 olives at this point, but let's head back into this opening here and go back to this little spring, waterfall, fountain, whatever you want to call it. And once we have the pitcher, we just drop right here, and you'll, even if we're at full health, you'll be like, alright, well, I heard it, but if we go into our inventory, we'll see that it is indeed full now. So we have that on demand, top off our health whenever we need it, very nice. Kind of like a fairy, but way more effective. I guess more like the medicine, if I'm honest, if we're making comparisons. Contemplating skipping ahead, but we're so close to those 60 olives. The olive grind spot in Attica is a lot better because you have 4 enemies to kill there. You have 2 of these pan-like guys, and you also have 2 of the crustaceans, so if you just kind of keep your back to Athena's, the door to her place, you'll just keep having them come up to you constantly. And, you know, it's basically this, but grinding twice as fast. And you have that fountain right there to top off your health. Not that you should need it, honestly, because they're going to be dropping a lot of health too, but it's just nice. It's the most secure place. You got Athena right there to quote-unquote save, which just means talking to the gods and getting that gobbledygook password that they give you. So unnecessary, though, all those characters. There's not that many items and combinations in this game to warrant having or needing however many characters that password is. It's like 20 characters, or I think it's more than that, and it's just a lot. It's unnecessary. Anyway, we have 58, so let's head up, because the entrance to this god's place is almost as annoying as having to collect 60 albs for the guy, so just need one more. Who's gonna give it to us? Monkey? Monkey man? No? There we go. Alright, once you have it, the 60, stab right there, and you'll get an opening in the floor. Easy to miss. This god doesn't like, just head to the right, straight shot right here. This god doesn't like visitors. I love the lighting in here, though, I have to say. Poseidon, there you go. Makes sense. Alright. Ocarina. What do we got, Blaze?
Alright, the Ocarina. A little Link nod right there before Link was using an Ocarina, before it was fashionable. But it summons the dolphin when you're at water, and pretty good tune if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I do like that tone. I like that little melody more than the harp, actually. But speaking of the harp, we're going to use this to quickly teleport out of here. No, teleport, you know what I mean. We're going to ride a mythical flying horse called Pegasus. Once we reach this totem over here, it calms down all the noise instantly as we get our ride. Be a lifesaver sometimes, literally, if you're about to take one last hit. So they all go in an order. It's not like a random thing, and it's not like two different totems or statues, you know, connect with one another. It's just, yeah, they go on a set path all the way back to Arcadia, so just gotta know how these work, but we'll cover that moving forward. Right now we're gonna use our new Ocarina. We're gonna head back to Attica, so we can use that Ocarina to access a new region of the map in the mountains. Yes, to get back to Attica, we gotta just don't understand. We go in a house, we come out a cave. Explain that architectural wonder right there. If you need to top off your health before this battle, we have a little boss coming up. You can go ahead and do it. It's not a bad idea. Duck in this cave to head back to a little grind spot. And save your game with Athena. I recommend before you, we're going to need to grind some more olives actually. But before we do that, we're going to fight this next boss. Just to get out of the way, and then we'll save. But anyway, I need to get that Ewok out of the way, but anyway, Gary?
Boss beaters. Alright, the Gaea. Lure it to the ground. It's easier to fight it on the ground. And then stab it in the face when it gets close. You want to stand your ground, unlike with the Cyclops. It's going to throw that boulder over your head typically. You can just keep jumping and stabbing, except when it's throwing the boulder, just wait, and then just keep jumping and stabbing, you'll take him down.
There you go. And once you take him down, like I said, that's when I recommend heading back to town, where we have the fountain, like jumping up into the wall right there and still coming out the door. That's alright. Those are the kind of characteristic, like adds character flaws that this game has. I love it. Little glitches like that. Not too many of them actually. I act like there's a whole mess of them, but there's not really. You can see I was talking about the grind spot earlier versus that place in Laconia. You can see why this is a better place, because we literally have 4 dudes coming in from either side. So let's skip ahead now that we have the requisite 70 olives, which we're going to need in this next area. I recommend grinding until you have 70, then go talk to Athena, get the magic words, the words of the gods, so that if you die, every time you die, you'll be given a choice of either retrying or continue. So continue puts you back pretty much on the same area where you died at, but it halves the olives that you have. Conversely, if you hit retry, then retry will send you back to the last god that you heard the words from. So that's why it's basically like saving your game. It's the closest thing that we have, so you never want to lose your olives. So retry is always the move right there. So make sure you know the distinction. They sound pretty similar, but Phthia? I don't know. Phthia. Be very careful here. There are so many pits. That's why the saving with Athena was important. Birds are going to smack you around. I prefer the sword here, even though it can't fire the projectiles, because it's a little bit more powerful. Just want to... Don't worry about taking damage right here. Just focus on not getting knocked into the water, because we have a waterfall right here. We can refill our health and our flask simultaneously, if you need to refill your flask. Yeah, 4 damage from one of those boulders. I mean, I'm not disputing that taking a boulder, you know, from 10 feet to an unprotected head, I don't count that little little wreath he's got around his head, but yeah, I'm not disputing that would hurt. But 4 damage? Come on now. Oof. Almost had our first death right there. It's hard to get a no-death run in this game because of all of the said pits, especially in this stretch here. Thankfully, we only need to come through here once. But we'll have another god here who is ready to take our 70 olives. Highway robbery. But this is the best weapon in the game, so we'll gladly pay for it. Well, we'll begrudgingly pay for it. Please.
Alright, the most powerful sword in the game, the Divine Sword. It's twice as powerful as the staff, 4 times as powerful as that stupid club you were using. How did we ever get by on that thing? It shoots projectiles if you hold up and press B. Just note that until we get another item, which we're going to cover later on, it will eat into your health, so keep that in mind, but most powerful weapon in the game.
Alright, good luck. See how we have that option now. Let's refill our health, actually. We have that option now to hit up or hold up when we attack with the sword, similar as the staff. I love that this guy just gives us this for free. Thank you, my friend. I was trying to make it here without having to use that water. Doesn't matter, though. We'll get nectar refilled at the tough jump right there. Refilled at that same spot. Be careful when you're going down these stairs, by the way. You do need to hold it down. You think you just like fall off and it would be fine, but no, that's somehow instant death. I guess we're led to believe a lot of things are happening between these two screens. I don't know, but anyway. Refill our flask and our health. Topped back off. We're gonna need the health because this is a nasty stretch right here. We might as well, if you get slapped around by this monkey, go ahead and top yourself off again. We want to conserve as much health as possible for when we head into this next stretch. Got kind of a mini boss and then an actual boss coming up, so health. Oof. We are just dancing with death right here. Keen-eared observers, by the way, will recognize that we use the death sound in this game. Hopefully we won't have to hear it, but we use that as the loser theme for Let's Burn with Brigands. YouTube.com/Let's Burn with Brigands. Go ahead and check that out. That's our competitive, spicy, hot sauce-based video gaming channel. Sounds confusing, but it's really not, so you can check that out. But every time we chalk up a loss on that channel, we do use this theme. The loser theme. So as we try to bait this monkey out right here, we have a mini-boss coming up, so let's throw it over to Gaea for some tips.
Boss beaters. Art the Centaur. Stay on the ledge and keep stabbing to stun lock him in the face with your sword. You can use the projectile if you want, but if you're close enough, it's not necessary.
Thank you very much, Gary. And there's 2 entry points to the behind the waterfall here. You can go up or down. Doesn't matter at this point which you choose. We don't have the items the item which we need to take advantage of the top route. Be very careful here. We want to not die first and foremost. Definitely use your distance attack on these flowers. And just dodge whatever they shoot your way. Alright, we got another boss. Scary.
Boss beaters. Ladon. Get into a rhythm of stabbing with the projectile, or not, just use the normal sword. And then just jump counterclockwise as it comes towards you, and just keep going in the circle. Getting that hit in, jumping over it, and just keep repeating. 10 hits with the best sword will take it down.
Thank you very much, Gary. Good call. Yeah, this is a nice little rhythm you can get into with this one. And once we take him down, we're going to have another item. Blaze, what have we got?
Alright, the apple. So important. You can take half damage as soon as you pick this up. And this even extends to your divine sword, so every time you use it, you don't lose quite as much health. So, very important. Defensive item, just a passive. Pick it up. You'll be in a lot better shape.
Yeah, the extra defense is clutch. Huge upgrade right there we just got. We go back the same way we came in. The unfortunate thing about the guy earlier being a mini-boss is that he respawns. This time I recommend just, if you want to fight him, that's fine. Just 4 hits takes him down, but a lot of times if you can bait him far enough to the right, you can just run past him. He's tenacious though, he will follow you, not to this screen, but certainly at the edge of that last screen. And now, our patented get me the heck out of here card right there. Thank you, Pegasus. This is going to take us back to Laconia, and if we ride this again, similar to the last time we traveled from here, this will take us back to Arcadia, back to the start. So this time we're going to head back to Attica once again, to our favorite grind spot. Unfortunately, the price this time is 80 olives. Again, it's the worst part of this game, I'll admit. This is going to be necessary for our next destination as we head to Crete. And actually the item is pretty good. Well, I'm not going to step on Blaze's toes here, that's his job, but it is a good item, if memory serves. I don't know if it's worth 80 olives, but, you know, that's the going rate apparently. And we're a sucker, we just keep paying more and more and more. Thankfully, that's the last thing we need to buy from a god. It's like Zeus steps in, he finds out everyone's taking advantage of us, and he's like, hold on. We're supposed to be giving this stuff away for free, man. He's trying to help out our cause, but yeah. There's one more person also in Crete, actually. Crete's a very expensive island. All the things you need to have money for are olives. Something for the gods, and then a shield from a woman there. And that might be even more annoying because we need the salamander scales, or the skins that Blaze was talking about earlier. Anyway, jumping ahead, we have our 80 olives now. So now we are going to head somewhere we have not been before. You know, we have the Ocarina, which summons in a dolphin. Sure, it brings rock monsters to life, but also its intended purpose is to summon a dolphin on demand. So we need to get back to Laconia, but I think the faster way to get there is actually going through the mountains this way. So we're going to cut through here, back to Phthia. Just like trying to say that. Phthia. Get to our little statue here, barely tucking itself out. Hop on. And this will take us our shortcut to Laconia. Now we just want to head to the sea, which the land will dead end into right here. Get our ocarina out. Love that theme. And now we have a couple bosses in quick succession, actually. Let's throw it over to Gary and see who we got first up. Gary?
Boss beaters. Alright, Siren. You can use the harp to stun Siren, and then use the projectile attack at a distance to safely attack and defeat the Siren.
Alright, good call. Keeping her at bay right there. Just gotta mind the boulders. And as we head inside, we have another boss. Gary?
Boss beaters. Alright, however you pronounce that, here's how to kill it. Use the projectile attack with the sword, and just keep firing to make short work of this boss. Just try not to get surrounded, but stay on one side or the other, and the projectile will get there for the most part. Not an easy battle, or not a hard battle, excuse me. It's easy.
And I notice we got a crystal ball there, Blaze.
Alright, the eye locates secret passages which you need to find to get heart pieces. So make sure you pick this up. Hit select to use it on the right screens as the professor will show you. There you go.
Ooh, heart skipped a beat right there. I thought we were about to leave the planet when that aborted ceiling walk didn't take. Alright, so this time we're going to just keep going east past the, where we fought the Siren. Past this little island here. And if we head to the other side, just like in real life, calling our dolphin again. Can we just go around this? Oh, right, 2D. We're in Crete. Just like that. Good music in this game, by the way. You can tell that they had one dedicated guy whose sole job was to do the music. It's very good. I just like to bounce over this guy's head. Don't show him any respect. Alright, this place is a maze. If you thought the forest was bad, this is pretty bad. So try to keep up here. I'm going to try to keep up too, actually. Take that first turn. I'm honestly going off a map. I recommend, you can just follow along here. We're going to get there in the end. First thing we want to do, though, is get to the god where we can actually spend our 80 olives before we die and lose said 80 olives. Watch out for Slimer. Not sure why Slimer's in this. Is that a part of Greek mythology? I don't know. You're 007? 80 olives, good lord. I said it was worth it. Blaze, tell us about it.
Alright, this doubles your strength with any weapon, and maybe best of all, you no longer have to pay to use the projectile on the divine sword. Nice.
That is nice, actually. Yeah, so just let it rip at this point. Alright, so once you've bought that, we need more olives before we can buy the next thing, and we need the salamander skins. It's kind of up to you as to what you want to do. There's also bosses here. Obviously, this is probably the most important spot on Crete because of how much damage you take from the seemingly thousands and thousands of enemies who are trying to kill you here. Shadow warriors on the ceilings, little EPs on the floor. I got these little Ghostbusters monsters. Got the mamas too. You got the kids and the mamas. They're both out to fight. That's cute. It's a family business trying to kill 007. I usually just avoid them, as you can tell, because, I don't know, even my patented crouch, jump, and stab, and even just kind of going up and down and trying to get them off their balance, off their guard with their shield, it's very difficult to land on these people. I like the colors here. That's sort of your, that's the only way to keep all these things straight, because there's just, so many. I think there's maybe 4 different tiers here. There's like the pink, there's a purple, there's a green, and then there's like a off green or a blue or something. It's all over the place. But anyway, we're just trying to get out of here alive. Try to fight this guy, but again, good posture. Like he hides the axe, like we don't know that he just stabbed us with it. And he can walk on water, apparently. There you go. Love the sunset right here. Kind of reminds me of the skate with the Tiki Mask guy and TNC Surf Design. But everything's connected as we show up back here in Argolis. That's how that connects. This is a good time to save your game, as Hermes is back in his actual home. So now we can drop in this pit that I told you could drop in earlier. And this is where we can kill these salamanders with one hit. Don't come here before you have the sword. It's just a heck of a lot easier when you have the sword. So we're going to need 20 of these salamander skins at this point in the game. Good thing is they pay out olives at the same time, and there can be a whole bunch of them on the screen at once, unlike other enemies. Problem is, there can be a whole bunch of them on the screen at once, so you can get overwhelmed. So I misspoke. There is, unfortunately, one more thing we need to grind for. So I recommend picking up having 50 olives, as we can duck in here, and this person will charge us 50 olives for another friggin' Ambrosia. All been free up until now. You should hang out with that guy in Phthia, man. He's just giving them out for free. You could learn me a thing or two, but anyway, the main thing is to get your 20 salamander skins, because it's not the best place to grind. A little too dangerous, but as we're still here in Argolis, we can now get our eye out. Hit select as soon as we come in this first area. Head in here. Stay up top right here. Careful with the bats, I'll try to knock you down. You want to stay up top. This top path. And right through here, there's a fairy. A nymph. Captured by Cyclops. Money P. Forgot we named her that. So every time you pick up a heart, you'll get one of these little cutscenes here. 007. Don't know how things became this bad. Bitten by a poisonous snake. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do anything for you. You kind of get the, I kind of get like the Mario 3 vibe, where like the princess leaves you a letter. Except in that game, she gives you little items, you know, useful things. Anyway, as we head back to our grinding spot in Attica, let's go to Fluff for another Fluff fact about Battle of Olympus.
I heard you say, Professor, that you consider this to unofficially be the third Zelda game for the NES. And it turns out there's a good reason for it. If you think this game looks and plays an awful lot like Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, which we did a recent class on featuring link in the description by the way, it's because the lead designer Yukio Horimoto drew inspiration from Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link for gameplay and appearances. The similarities even spilled over into the final boss, in which the character must battle a shadow warrior.
Thanks, Fluff. To his credit, they were probably one of the first developers to try to copy Zelda. Or at least certainly one of the first to do it well. But anyway, so we're back here in Attica again, and I misspoke. We actually need 80 olives. One last time. I promise. These are the last olives you'll have to collect in this game. But once you have them, along with the 20 salamander skins, we're going to head back to Crete. It's another instance where you really don't want to die, but before we head out, and after you see that nymph, talk to this guy here in Attica. He'll give you a key, which we will need to unlock the next door to see the next nymph. So, just make sure you stop off and grab that. That's its only purpose, but it is important. I always used to forget about that. I would know where to use the eye and unlock that and everything, and get to the door where the nymph was meant to be, and I just couldn't figure out why the door wouldn't open, so just make sure you talk to that guy. But out of the, 200 or 300 people that are probably in this game in various houses, well, that might be being too generous. It's probably about 100 people. I'd say you probably need to talk to 4 of them, But anyway, so we're going to head back to that waterfall that we jumped behind, which means we need to get past our friend again. Feel another stun lock coming on right here. And we can just go ahead and use that. We got the double power, he just goes down really easy. We want to head up top this time. Hold up as you jump off to go in this top area here. And then midway through the tunnel, hit select. This door will appear. If you have the key, this door will open. And we get our second heart. Hope Money P's okay. We gotta hurry, gang. Yeah, we're coming. It's just really expensive. Really wish we could have just maybe stabbed somebody, some grocer, and grabbed a full jar of these olives, but I don't know, it's not the 007 way. Actually, it totally is. I don't know what I'm talking about, but... Yeah, he's got some jets on him. He can jump around. He can get some height. So now we're headed back to Crete, which means we can take that shortcut again. From here, we'll use our harp to head back to Laconia, and just head back to the east again, all the way to the edge, across the sea. It's greeted by a cacophony of just, yes, death right here. Good thing that Dolphin shows up very quickly. We're always taking a leap of faith, just assuming he's going to show up, but he's always there. One more. This should be our final visit, I should say, to Crete. And you can see we only have one more location we have not yet visited here on the ancient Greek map. Thankfully that place isn't too bad. And it's free. Nothing. No one charges you anything for anything there. They just take pity on you at that point. I think we get an Ambrosia for nothing, and we get the final item for nothing as well. So, alright, so maze time once again. Follow along. I think I got the right track right here. Again, I love the colors. Very rich. Here she is. You're not even a god, and you're charging not only 80 olives, which is the most any god has charged me, but you also had me go into some pit, a smelly pit, and grab 20 salamander skins. Not even sure the shield's worth it, but let's go to Blaze.
Alright, we talked about it very early on with the salamander skins. This is the shield you can get to protect yourself from fireballs. There you go.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, so from here, we need to get to the boss of Crete. Just no slouch. Stop off at another one of the water fountains here. I think there's a couple, actually. I guess I'm getting turned around, I don't know. Pop in here. Thankfully, it's not too far from the water. That'll just disappear if you have everything at this point. And let's go to Gaea for a tough one here.
Boss beaters. Right, the Minotaur. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this the hardest boss of the game, the toughest boss of Battle of Olympus. First, you want to make sure you clear off the floating baddies from the screen, and then you're in for a slugfest. Make sure you got your nectar from the spring to top yourself off, the little waterfall. You can also use a projectile attack for more of a distance attack, but you gotta watch out for that mace. Otherwise, like I said, just a slugfest. You'll come out on top if you have the health. But yeah, 16 hits with the best sword will get it done.
Thank you very much, Gaea. Yeah, not an easy out. Definitely need your nectar on that one. But we get our final heart here. Hard-earned, this final heart. The door to where Hades lives. It's now open. We have one last stop to make, though, before we head there. So we gotta go the long way to get out of here at this point. Trying to find the quickest way. It's always the bearings from where you last came from. Definitely top ourselves off here. That's probably the play right now. Again, thankfully it's right next to it. See if we can conserve as much health as possible here. Maybe we won't have to go back and refill our flask again before we head to that final visible place on the map. I think this is my door. It's my exit right here. Yeah, green. Don't really need olives at this point. Maybe a snack. Maybe some retirement olives for Money P and ourselves. Don't make this difficult. I'm just trying to leave. Jeeves. I'll be taking my dolphin today. Please don't poke me in the... He even, like, pulls off of you, actually, a little bit. Which is nice. So actually, now that we've gotten that third heart, this is actually the entrance to Hades right here. You can go there, but you won't be able to beat the game because you don't have the final item that you need. It is an important one. It's to justify the trip to that final northeasternmost part of the map, so we carry on. Just make a mental note that that's where the entrance of Hades is. I like the idea of just some random fisherman seeing that now and, you know, wanting to check it out and entering Hades. I don't know, maybe inexplicably beating the game before we do. Who knows? So we need to head back to Attica now. This is the only sea that we haven't crossed yet. That's going to be the connection to that final area. Let's make sure we save our game here with Hermes. And we can do one last little shortcut to get out of here a little faster by dropping in the pit and just exiting to the right. It's probably save us, I don't know, 10 seconds. Always trying to give you all the tips right here, even the time savers. Alright, so as we head back to Attica, let's, you know what, let's throw it to Fluff for one last Fluff fact about Battle of Olympus. Fluff, what do you got for us?
I mentioned how this is based on Greek mythology. While Nintendo themselves had already paved the way for a Greek mythology video game crossover with Kid Icarus, Infinity went deep into Greek mythos. The overall plot of the game is a decently authentic telling of Orpheus' trek into Hades to rescue his love, Eurydice, who is renamed Helene in this game. I'm not sure if Horimoto was worried that the distant relative of Ibycus might come after him for his royalties, but anyway. It also features many of the famous Greek gods and monsters, and the locations on the map all come straight from the world of ancient Greek mythology.
Mythological Greece, there you go. Here we are back in Attica. It's cool. I didn't feel like I was necessarily learning anything, but it was cool when I took my Greek mythology class and learned about all this stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I recognize a lot of this stuff from this fantastic game I played a few years ago. So we're going to head out west this time, back to where we had our showdown with the Lamia, I guess it was. Rescued that kid. This is the only sea we have yet to call our dolphin at. So we cross off right here, and we're just right here in Phrygia. This one's not too bad. If you know where you're going, this is not a bad out. And everything's free. Like I said, I think they just take pity on us at this point in the game. There is a evil Pegasus right here that you do not have to fight. Just walk right by it. As it chases after you, it's like, come on, man. No one comes to Phrygia. Or Phrygia. I don't know. I'm sorry. You don't tune in to learn about Greek mythology on this channel. Hopefully not. The pronunciations. So make sure you go the right way here. There is a set way that'll save you a lot of time. It's kind of a mini boss right here. We could throw to Gaea, but it's pretty straightforward. Just use your distance attack. 4 hits will do it with the Divine Sword. Grab that right there. There we go. Get a little health back. It's going to be someone here who's going to give us an Ambrosia, I believe. So health isn't too much of an issue. Try to hold on to that nectar as long as you can. Good rule of thumb on these screens is to be patient, as these flying gargoyles, or whatever you want to call them, will eventually come over to you if you've gone far enough over. You don't want to make jumps prematurely, you know, go to cliff's edges and things like that before you've rid the screen of all of those guys, because they can be awfully annoying. And be careful not to accidentally leave right here. I'm getting these hits in. There we go. A couple stealthy staircases around here too that lead down. Like, it's easy to miss that. You can comb this whole area with a fine-tooth comb. I said comb twice there, but yeah, it's and not know where to go because you missed the stairs down in that one location. Another instance where you want to be careful. Let them come to you first. You don't want to meet one of those guys in midair, obviously. Stay on the stairs. They can't knock you off the stairs. This isn't like a Castlevania game. So if we head up here, we're going to eventually have to go down, but if we head up, I think we're going to get our Ambrosia. I'm just going to see if I can't stay alive long enough to not have to use the nectar here. Still pitching to no death right here. There we are. Isn't this nice? Take this Ambrosia, rest for a while, you know? That's the natural response when, you know, I don't get any visitors out here. Unlike that lady in the snake pit who's like, 50 olives. 50 olives. Ridiculous. They're just happy to have they just appreciate the effort down here. You can actually get a nice little, right here on the stairs. So you're not moving, you just get hit after hit and take that thing down without having to worry about spacing the jumps out. Don't get knocked down here, it's a annoying trek back. Stay in the middle of these platforms. Stay on the stairs. It's alright, we don't mind taking a little damage. Alright. The end of this maze, which didn't seem like that much of a maze because we know where we're going. Got a nice yellow carpet for a change. And the final goddess, Artemis, goddess of the moon. That's right, Hades conceals himself using a magic hat. Blaze?
The crystal allows you to fight the final boss. So in some ways, this is the item of the game, but we already called the flask that. Just make sure you hit select on that final screen to make the final boss appear to give yourself a chance in that fight.
Alright, thank you very much, Blaze. As we jumped ahead, just fast forwarded back to where we want to be for this final stretch, we're going to head back to Crete because the entrance to Hades is right here. So take whatever route you'd like to get back to this area as quickly as possible. And now we're heading into Hades, into the underworld. The path here is left, left, right, left. In case you were wondering, someone would have told you that, but I'm telling you. Got a boss?
Boss beaters. Alright, Cerberus. Crouch, jump, and attack when he charges at you. You gotta master this rhythm and timing. Otherwise, he's gonna regrow his head, so just get in that nice rhythm. You'll take him down with 8 straight hits with the best sword. That'll get it done.
There you go. Alright, so at this point, very tricky platforming. Mind the bats, be aware of the bats. Got another nymph here, Aphrodite's servant. They'll top you off in health. There's gonna be another one which tops you off a little bit later, but you only see them if you go the wrong way. So they'll say, "Oh, why'd you come this way?" So we're not gonna have you going that way. Note the ceiling here, be careful you don't hit A too hard to fall off of it. Ignore the rest of these doors, just go in here at the end. There's a set route you need to take here. It's a little confusing, and like I say, if you go the wrong way, this is a tricky jump right here. Make sure all your enemies are behind you when you attempt that jump. Looks pretty cool though, I have to say, making that gap upside down. Another instance where we want to clear out a couple baddies. There's a few more of those Slimers flying around, or at least the one. One last giant serpent. There's the other one. I thought there was more than one. We want to go up here. Duck in. Oh gosh. Whole mess of those birds. Stay on the up track here. Head to the right. Mind the pits. Take your time. Be patient here. They can blend in a little bit. You gotta look for the eyes. Look for the black and the purple there and make that jump. And this jump isn't too tricky. Just skip that door. And just head right in. And you want to make sure you take the left door here. I think the right one was the one where they say, "You fool, have some health, but go back to the start." Man, this is rough. I kind of want to just go by him, but I'm trying to alternate the up and down, firing off that thing. Skip that door, there's Mom. Oh good, her kids respawned. Good for them. We're going to need to use that our nectar here. As we're in Hades proper now. One last, not really a maze, but there is a certain way you need to go here. There's the Lamia once again. Not nearly as difficult this time now that we have our divine sword. I guess she's been working out too. She must have gotten her own apple. Good for her. Alright, we want to head up and to the left here. Using all of your skills that you've honed over the course of the last hour plus. Careful with the gap right there. As soon as you come up those stairs, go hard to the right. Don't mind getting slapped around, just don't get slapped around by the stair. The opening for the stairs there. So at the top of that, you're going to go right, and we're going to stay as high up as we can. We're going to skip this staircase and jump right through. Again, it's sort of a mini maze, but as long as you know the path, I'll take every little bit of health I can get at this point in the game. Again, go hard right here. Just don't want to get smacked near a pit. Maybe she's the one that tells you went the wrong way. I really don't remember. I just know the right way to go. I think someone sells you health, or like a nectar refill for a certain number of olives, but we don't need that. We got Gaea.
Boss beaters. Right, Hades, use the moon crystal to even see where he is. Then crouch and jump and move to the right to attack to get into a nice little rhythm. Just one after another, just keep jumping with the duck. And it's a little confusing considering we're doing this upside down, but if you can wrap your head around it, this is a very manageable fight, especially if you've got that flask to top yourself off. Good luck, and congratulations, you've beaten Battle of Olympus.
Thank you very much, Gaea. Excellent work today. All the TAs working overtime for all the bosses and items and fun facts. There's Money P, looking better than ever. There were a lot of hardships. I could probably count them, but there were a lot of them. Is she like still tied up? Can we fix her? There we go. Well, anyway, we get a nice sunrise here at the ruins. Well, probably not ruins at the time. They look like they're in decent shape. Well, there's some visible wear. I'm sorry. Bigger picture. We just beat Hades. Let's enjoy the 3-person credits right now. I'd like to invite you one last time, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. We do one of these classes every single week in the same spot. We'd love to have you enrolled. It really means a lot to us. Let us know if you have memories of this game, if you played this game. Like I said, it's one of those underrated gems. I'd say a decent number of people know about it, but probably not enough as far as I'm concerned. So let me know what your memories are of this game. And don't forget to leave a like on this video. It really does help us out. But that does it. Thanks one last time to all the TAs. Thank you for tuning in. Hope this helped you out. And we'll see you next week for next week's class in the same spot. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you. And check the description of this video to see what song is playing right now.
We made a diamond.